My name's Tarah Cochran, and here's my audience. One adult, two kids, another adult's on FaceTime, and the fourth adult. Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. And that song actually came true just a couple months ago when the Cubs won the World Series. So I love the game of baseball. I grew up around the game of baseball, and I actually want to work in that industry one day. And baseball is America's pastime, and I feel like one of the last big sports phenomenons to happen is for the Cubs to break the curse and to win the World Series. So today we're going to talk about the history behind the Cubs organization, the heartbreaks that they've had, and how that all leads up to the Chicago Cubs winning the 2016 World Series. Now to start off the history, and this is according to Sports Illustrated, in 1876 the Cubs were actually called the White Stockings. That then evolved to the Orphans and the Colts, and then finally in 1902 the Chicago Tribune actually called them the Cubs and was later then recognized as the official logo of the Cubs. And in 1907 and 1908 was when the dynasties had to begin, and they won back-to-back World Series in those 2 years. Now the fans are a crucial part of the organization's history as well. The Society for American Baseball Research tells us that these fans are the most dedicated fans of any sports organization just due to the heartbreak that they've had to endure over the years, and they call it a paradox and for rooting for losers, and they said this might be caused to the atmosphere of Wrigley Field or just the love of the game in general. And so now we're going to go to the actual heartbreak and losses that the Cubs have suffered over the years. Now the drought, this is also according to Sports Illustrated, starts in 1918 when the Cubs lose their first World Series out of the next four. They go on to lose the next four World Series as well. And this first one is actually because of Babe Ruth. They lost to Babe Ruth, the ace of the Boston Red Sox at that time. And then in the following years, they lose again to Babe Ruth in another World Series in one of the most famous baseball stories of all time, where Babe Ruth calls his shot, and that again ends their luck in the World Series. Now they go on to be known for their curses. Chicago Cubs are known to be cursed. One of the most famous curses is the curse of the Billy Goat. This is also from Sports Illustrated. And this curse is because one of the fans, this is in Game 4 of the World Series in 1945, the last time they went to the World Series, this fan brought his smelly pet goat and was told to leave with the goat. And when he did, he went on the field, and before he left, he said, "The Cubs will win no more." And until 2016, the Cubs did not win. And another curse is the Steve Bartman curse of 2003 in the NLCS game, the games before they go to the World Series. The opposing team hit a ball to the left side of the stadium, and the Cubs outfielder was going to catch it. He reached over, caught the ball, ultimately causing the Cubs to lose that game and lose the series, not being able to go to the World Series. Now, that all leads up to the World Series of 2016. And they actually start pretty bad. According to the official Major League Baseball scoreboard, the Cubs start out losing 3 of the first 4 games. They're down 3-1, and the Cubs lose 6-0, 7-2, and 1-0. Now the 5th game, they finally come back, get momentum back, and they actually cause a Game 7. Now this game was one of the craziest games of all time in any sports, and the Cubs, according to USA Today, they lead a 6-3 lead. They're 4 outs away from a World Series win. And somehow with errors, pitching errors, stuff like that, the Indians come back. This man right here actually hits a home run to tie the game, and they come back, tie it, and they send it to extra innings, to the 10th inning. And there's actually a rain delay in all the midst of this. This game lasted about 4 hours and 23 minutes. And finally, in the 10th inning, the Cubs get up 8-6. Then the Indians come up. They put on another run, 8-7. And then the famous video that you see is Chris Bryant taking a ball, throwing it to Anthony Rizzo at first base, ending it. The Cubs win the World Series. And this finally happened, and the Cubs are famous for many things, including the losses, but this win ultimately overshadows all the losses. And after only 39,466 days, the Cubs are finally world champions again. So here's my audience again. Get him on FaceTime.